Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's project, we're going to be doing some under cabinet lighting in our kitchen. And we remodeled this kitchen a few months ago with the intention of getting some under cabinet and over cabinet lighting. And so I wired in a switched outlet above each cabinet. And so I mentioned this a few videos ago, and GetInLight actually reached out to me and they offered to sponsor this video by sending me everything I needed for my under cabinet lighting project. They sent me these two 32-inch under cabinet lights, so I'm going to mount one under and above the big cabinet, and then they also sent me these two. The smallest ones they had were these 9-inch under cabinet lights, and so I'm going to put these vertically on this little small cabinet here because the width of it's only like 3 or 4 inches. I don't think they make an under cabinet light that small. And also these linking wires here, so these are going to go, they're going to connect the top light where the outlet is, and it's going to bring power to the under cabinet light, and these will run with inside of the cabinet. So let's get these unpackaged and let's get started. All right, let's start with this 32-inch light for the big cabinets. Let's open it up and see what's included in here. It's very sleek. I like everything is pretty much metal except these end caps, which is really nice. It's only an inch thick. Should hide up there really nicely as well. So you've got your output. So I guess you take that off. That's your output. So if you want to link a bunch of these together, I'm assuming on this end is the input. So that's where the power cord attaches to. You've got your super bright, your dim, and your off, and then you've got your color selector here. Super nice. Let's see what's included in here. You've got a power cord included. I guess if you're hardwiring these in, that's to crimp the Romex in one of these punch outs. I'm assuming this one here. Linking adapter, your screws, and it looks like, which is really nice, got these little nubs, and that I'm assuming once you have your screws in and you've got the thing screwed in, these nubs fit in here to hide the screw holes. That's good attention to detail there. That's really nice. All right, so let's get this one installed. All right, so I have this plugged in and I turned it on. I've been kind of playing with where I want this position. I thought maybe in the middle, but I'm kind of liking it flush here on the bottom, right up as far as it can go away from the wall. And I think because the small cabinet the light will be sitting this way, it will illuminate the entire cabinet. I think this is the best right here. And it gives you the most light on the countertop as well. Usually back here, you know, we've got bowls of fruit and the knives are over here, so you don't really need light back here. You're usually working on the edge here, and this is where you want all the light. So I think I'm going to go flush this way. So I think it just needs 2 screws, so let me unplug it, put the 2 screws in, and we'll go from there. If you just start these screws into the hole, the hole's a tiny bit smaller than the screw, and it'll actually hold it there for you, which is kind of nice. Alright, so I realized centering this thing perfectly doesn't allow me quite enough room to plug this in, but I think once it's plugged in, I can bend this just enough to run it to the back here. So I'm gonna undo the screw a little bit, lower it just a tiny bit, plug it in, and then we should be good to go, and I'll screw it back in there. Alright, so we're gonna run this cable to the corner here and run it up into the cabinet to the upper light that's going to be sitting on top of the cabinet. So we're going to have to go get a drill big enough to allow this thing in, which is fairly large, but that's what we got to do. before I put that last shelf up there, I'm gonna go ahead and drill the hole to feed the connecting cable up to the light that's gonna be mounted on the top there. So let's do that real quick. I think I'm gonna go to the hardware store and just get little clips that screw into the side, and I'll clip these wires so they run flush and it takes right away from it. Right now it looks a little messy for my liking. So this one is the one that's going to be going on the upper cabinet lighting. So for this we're going to have to unscrew the input and the output side. So it's going to be plugged into the wall, and then it's going to have the extension cord coming out for the under cabinet lighting. So let's get both of these off. Alright, so I got both the cords plugged in before I screw this thing in. I won't plug it in yet, I'll just leave it here. So we just gotta squeeze that in there, make that flush all the way, and then that as much as we can. I wonder what's tighter up here than it was down below. Not too bad. And again, I'll get those clips and I'll clip these down so you can't see them from below. That's pretty even here. And just enough room, that's crazy. Alright, that's pretty good. So let's get the drill and the screws, screw this thing in, and then plug everything in, and we'll move on to the little ones. So I got the bottom and the top installed. They all should be controlled from this switch over here. Not that one. Alright, let's move on to this next one, this little one. So we're just gonna put the little one running perpendicular to the cabinet because I couldn't find one that was small enough to fit up in here. It'd only be like, I've seen those little puck ones, but I'm not really a big fan of those. So I wanted something to match this, so I got the smallest one I can. I'm just gonna put them that way, top and bottom here too. So let's get to that one. Alright, so here's the 9-inch version. I'm thinking it's gonna be exactly the same as the big one, just tiny. Yeah, this thing is absolutely tiny, which is pretty cool. So same exact thing though, metal construction, 1 inch thick, should tuck up in under that cabinet pretty nicely. And for the bottom one, we just need the input taken off, and that will, it's got the power cord, we'll connect we got another 60-inch connecting wire, and we'll run that inside the cabinet just like we did for the big one to connect both of them up. So a lot more of the same. So let's get going on this one. Alright, so we've got it run all the way to the top. Now we just got to do another hole saw hole right there, and we'll mount the light on the top, and we should be pretty much done after that. Alright, a little bit of an issue. So for this one I need connectors on both input and output, and I don't think I'm not gonna have enough room. With one connector it's flush up against there, so I can only really plug this in. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch, instead of using a linking cable, I think I'm gonna use the power cord from that one underneath and just plug it into the other outlet. Yeah, that should solve the problem. So let's do that real quick. I'm gonna switch these out. Here you can see I got the power cord installed, and it's much longer than the linking cable. So I just shoved the extras down into the cabinet on this top shelf, and I'll get that all organized with some of those wire clips and some of those zip ties, and it'll look much better. So here's an interesting problem. So I've got these little cable clips and to hold this wire up against the corner, but how do you get a drill or even a screwdriver into this narrow space? Let me show you a trick. Alright, we got all the lights installed, all the wires tucked away, and it looks awesome. Over here I have an old LifeX RGB light strip that we almost never change the colors on, so it was a big waste of money here. Now that I see how nice these InLight lights are, I may just replace this LifeX with some InLight undermount cabinet lights as well, just so they all match. So again, I wanted to thank InLight for providing the lights and making this possible, and I'll see you all on the next project. Now it's time for the money shots.